start by choosing an issue and answering questions. Now, our next online session, which is in a couple of weeks, we're going to talk in detail about purpose statements. I don't want to spend time right now about them, but Creswell in your textbook, he talks about what a good purpose statement is. And he says the statement captures in a single paragraph. So notice that he's saying a single paragraph, but it's called a statement. Purpose statement is a paragraph that provides the essence of the study. It is written as clearly and concisely as possible. And in this little book, he gives you templates that you could fill out. So they're really great. So once you have a sense that what your issue is about, and whether you're looking at qualitative or quantitative or perhaps mixed methods, then you have these templates that can help you formulate a purpose statement. And so the purpose statement takes a while to figure it out because, again, you've got to get in the literature and understand the issue. Now, the specific purpose of your research, not the purpose statement. Remember, the purpose statement is this paragraph that tells you the essence of the study. The specific purpose will be to either be addressing research questions or testing hypotheses or satisfying objectives. And I've said that several times today, and I'll keep saying it because your purpose is going to be questions or hypotheses or objectives, not all three. Not all the things you're interested in lends themselves to a hypothesis. Not all the things that you want to do lends itself to questions. So as you're getting familiar with what you want to do and what's needed, you're arriving at the specific purpose, and that specific purpose will be to either answer research questions, to test hypotheses, or to satisfy objectives. So, research questions, what are those? It's a question. So the first thing, it's a question. And they're typically aimed at what is or what are, or they're relationship questions. What is the relationship between this and that? Or they're difference questions. Is there a difference in this because of that? So research questions are questions. They are the questions you want to be able to answer by collecting data. They are not the questions you have in your mind about what do we know in the literature. That's not what we mean by a research question. These are the questions that you're going to then design a study to capture data to answer. And we will look at examples shortly.
So do your research questions come before your hypotheses? Or is it hypotheses and then the research?
Again, you don't have both. You have one or the other. These are ors. And you make the decision based upon what's in the literature. If we already know a lot about a topic, the questions might have been answered, but we haven't started testing the hypotheses. So you don't have both. You have one or the other. A hypothesis is not a question, it's a statement. It's a tentative statement about the expected relationship between two or more variables. And we talked about what variables were, right? Something that varies among the subjects. So a hypothesis is a tentative statement. It's what you're, it's providing an if-then type of logic. It describes a predicted result. If there's a high level of trust between a student and their faculty chairperson, the time needed to complete the dissertation will be less. All right? It's predicting an if-then. If the trust level is poor, the longer it will take for the dissertation to be completed.
May I ask
Here and then there.
I'm not saying this is going to happen, but has it ever happened where you choose a chair thinking that it's going to work out well and end up just some reason did not, do you change chairs halfway through, or do you just figure out how to make it through?
No, you can change chairs.
Not that I'm expecting that to happen.
Right, but it's
And
nice
it
when
does happen.
you could do it.
It does happen. It's more the exception.
Does that put you back?
Not necessarily, but it does change. I mean, if you're switching because you're at an impasse with your chair, then it's probably gonna help you move forward by changing. But we've also had people that die, where it's nothing to do with the relationship. Your chair no longer is around.
It's breathing.
So, we've lost a couple faculty in the last 4 or 5 years, just because they, died. It's sad.
Yeah.
So, yes, you can change chairs. So a hypothesis, 2 variables, at least 2 variables. Now, some things don't lend themselves to hypotheses or to questions, but rather an objective. So let's say the objective of your research is to develop a new social media app that creates learning. There's not questions to be answered, there's not hypotheses to be tested, you're creating something. So yes, your research, you could create a software program, you could create a gaming program. You still have to argue that here's a problem necessitating the need for this. Conceptually, if you're talking about design, you're talking about interactive, the human interactive, the GUI standards, whatever they're called, design elements, and then your methods are a design process, a design development, and there's a specific design called design experiment, and so that's what you use.
Is it accurate to say that research questions would tend to lend themselves to qualitative methods and research hypotheses would lend themselves towards quantitative methods, or is that not
Partially.
true?
Research hypotheses definitely lend themselves to quantitative. Research questions, however, could be either. So I could be collecting quantitative data through a survey, and I have research questions like, what are the attitudes that current students have towards the dissertation process? That's a quantitative study, and I'm measuring it with survey, but it's a question. So, but definitely hypotheses, because I'm testing a relationship. If I'm testing that relationship with statistical procedures, I have to have quantitative data, which means I captured quantitative data. Now, sometimes in qualitative inquiry, we might have a proposition. So that's where oftentimes you'll read, well, what's the premise of the research? So they're not able to test the hypothesis, but they're able to collect data to support their premise. That interactive instructional styles leads to higher satisfaction among students. So that's my premise.